Okay, so hopefully by now you've done some mind mapping, you've got a bit of a topic that you're interested in, maybe some potential areas that you're thinking are going to work. Maybe you're moving down the pathway of a particular topic and you're not really sure where to go from here. This is where something like a Lotus diagram or a mind map or even just a list can really be helpful. Now remember, with the research project there is no one way to do things, so there are multiple different strategies that you can use. These are just suggestions that might get you in the right direction. This person had refined their focus to dyslexia and success in year 12, but they weren't really sure where they were going to go next. They didn't know what focus questions they were going to do, they didn't know what sort of things they wanted to know about. So then they started doing some research, and when they were researching dyslexia generally, they found out that there was a lot of information available about what it is. They also found out that it affects learning. They were looking at some of the symptoms, and then they were starting to think, well, if I'm going to do year 12, what are some of the things that happen in year 12 that I could maybe talk about? So this student then began to think about some of the questions they wanted answered. So in What Is It, they decided they wanted to know, is it actually a disease, and does it last forever, or does it have any side effects on you as a person? And so they were looking at different things they wanted to find out. However, that's not the only way to do a Lotus diagram. What they could do is what they've done in the other boxes, where they've looked at how does it affect learning. And what you can see there is that they've done a bit of a Google search. How does dyslexia affect learning? And they've chucked a few ideas in there, acquisition of knowledge, listening, working on laptops, lots of different ideas. And now they're starting to move towards a more refined question, because they're starting to see how it's possible that they could now research a few of these things. In your Lotus diagram, you can choose to put questions that you might want about something, or you can choose to fill it with information that you find in your background research. What is critical in this process is that you ensure that you are actively engaging in research. Ideas will not just pop into your mind from nowhere. You need to go out and actively see what exists. A Lotus diagram is an optional extra. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do a mind map, but it does allow you to really think about the potential for your project. You might also use a Lotus diagram to start to think about the different types of sources that you would use, because this is a critical aspect of your research. If you feel that you don't have enough primary or secondary research, it may be an inhibiting factor in your successful refinement. Use a Lotus diagram to help order your thoughts. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe there's too many boxes there for your liking. Use a mind map. Use a list. Just write it out. Doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as you understand it. Your teacher is going to be able to help you pick the best evidence for your 10 pages, but in your initial planning, don't worry about trying to make it all pretty into a couple of pages of planning. What we really want is some genuine planning ideas that will help you develop your thinking.